Hi everyone, I hope you are safe and doing well. So this is my second time making a video and I'm really learning as I go. The first video we did was our family challenge board game, and if you're interested in checking it out, you can find it under the animation section in the ASD COVID-19 website. So for this relaxation video, I chose to talk about and kind of show a simple massage that I give my youngest daughter. She's 5 years old. She has a lot of energy sometimes, sometimes more than I can handle. And when it comes to bedtime, she's always kind of had a hard time settling down and falling asleep. We tried many techniques, but none of them seemed to work for her until I started studying social services and autism, and there was this point where I spent about 6 months focused on sensory therapy, sensory input, and integration. And I also had the privilege of working with an occupational therapist a little bit over the past 2 years, and I really watched how they worked, and I learned about the different ways to facilitate sensory integration. So that helped me a lot. I was able to apply some of it at home. I decided to try to give my daughter massages before bed, and it's not that I hadn't already, but I took this new knowledge and I decided to try to make it a part of her routine and schedule. So we tried a lot of different essential oils, and we learned what she liked and what she didn't like. She likes lavender and coconut. I also got her a 5-pound weighted blanket, and it seemed to help a lot. So now I'm not just massaging her in a random way anymore. I was focusing on deep pressure, joint compression, stretches, and helping her with body awareness. So usually I start by making sure she's relaxed in bed and has her blanket on her. Usually she has a teddy bear with her, so she feels more comfortable. And I usually have her lay down on her belly, and then I'll spend some time on her neck and her spine, and I work downwards in like a circular motion. I work on rubbing her shoulders outwards to open her lungs. And one thing that's important is I really let her guide me. So if she wants something, sometimes we don't always have a routine of how it goes. Usually I'll work on her back and then I'll do her belly, or sometimes it's her back and then her legs. So I really let her guide me, and she tells me what she wants and doesn't want. So as you can see here, I'm just placing light pressure on her, and I usually work from her back and go down towards her feet, and I'll do both her legs, and I'll slowly work my way back up, just applying light pressure on her. I think it's really important for me to be clear that I am not an occupational therapist or a massage therapist. I'm a mom, I'm an educator, a special care technician, and I have learned a lot, and this is just how I embrace this technique, and it seemed to work for me, so maybe it couldn't work for you too, and like I said, it was a lot of trial and error, and took a lot of time to get it into her routine and schedule, but it seemed to work, so I hope it helps you. So when I'm working on either her arms, her hands, her legs, her feet, I always begin with some joint compressions and a little bit of stretches, and then a relaxing rub. And when I do her legs, we alternate her legs, and sometimes, not all the time, we will bring her legs towards her chest and roll them side to side to stretch them out a bit. I focused a lot more on her legs this time because she said that her legs were sore the last few days, and I think it's a growth spurt. So we focused a lot on rubbing her muscles and her shins. She said that the front of her legs were hurting her, and I remember what that was like when I was a kid. It wasn't fun. So when I get to her feet, I'm applying some pressure on the bottom of her foot and the top, giving her a little squeeze, and then I will work my way up towards each toe and just applying a little bit of pressure. I know it's hard to see in the video. I don't have the greatest angles here, but I did some joint compressions in her arm and her hands, and I stretched her out a little bit, and then I was giving her a relaxing rub. And so when I get to her hand, it's the same thing that I do at her feet. I apply a little bit of pressure on her palm and on the top of her hand, and then I work my way through each finger, just slowly going up each finger, giving a little bit of pressure, and she seems to enjoy it. So at this point, she had asked me to rub her face, which she doesn't always ask me, but she did. So I just rubbed the sides of her jawline, and I worked my thumbs from her nose outwards and back in, and on her forehead in a circular motion. So at this point, we're almost done with her massage, and I am rubbing her stomach. So I know from the angles it's kind of hard to see, but what I'm doing is I'm working from her sides, and I'm going towards her belly button. So I'll start from her hip and work slowly going inwards and a bit downwards into her abdomen. And I'm kind of rubbing where her intestines are and her stomach. I learned that this kind of massage on the abdomen area and the lower stomach, it really can help with digestion problems and constipation problems, which a lot of kids go through right now. Usually this kind of massage can last anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and it really depends on each child individually. Some enjoy more touch than others, and to make this a part of your child's schedule, it takes a lot of patience and hard work. At the end of the day, I feel it's a really good bonding activity for parents, especially right now. I know many people have had their schedules hit like a huge road bump, and accessing services we normally had has been a challenge because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But slowly and slowly, our economy and our schools are opening again. And meanwhile, we're making the best of what we have and adapting as we go. Sorry again for the weird quality and angles. I was taping myself alone. So I hope you find this video helpful. I hope it gives you a little bit of guidance for what the possibilities are with your children. There is a lot of resources and tutorials online and so much information. So I really encourage viewers to do your homework. Talk to those who worked with your children prior to all the schools being shut down, and try to educate yourself on what ways to do these things at home and figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for watching.